Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. And here for you today, I have Minus Wells trying to give a comparison between the XRP and Ethereum communities. For the Ripple Proper Party, we had Lenny Kravitz. And I don't know about you, but something about this performance shows higher status, credibility, and intellect than whatever the hell this was by the Ethereum community. Ladies and gentlemen, I can legitimately say that we're one of the coolest communities of people on the planet. And I'll continue to stress I don't know what the hell this was. But it's very funny, to say the least. But guys, all seriousness, we've had a lot of monumental things shifting in our direction in the XRP community. We have so much technology being built on the XRP ledger. We have so much technology that's going to support the XRP ledger. And the only thing that's holding anything back in crypto at all is regulation. But I'm going to show you a clip from SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce that lets you all in on a secret. We were right. I told you all a couple days ago, I believe the Cftc is going to begin gaining jurisdiction over the crypto industry over the SEC. And then SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce today just validated that as well. You don't believe me, but hear it from her mouth.
Now we're in a bit of an awkward position because Congress has expressed a clear interest in stepping into this space and has suggested that maybe the SEC will not be the primary regulator for much of this stuff, and so it's a little bit harder to do now. But I think whatever we do or Congress does, the point should be, let's bear in mind what the objective is, which is to make sure there's enough information out there for people to make decisions about what they want to do, but also to preserve the ability of people to innovate and think about how to do things in new ways, not to try to force everything that's happening in the crypto world into the traditional finance mold, which is not necessarily the best mold for all of these things. So I hope that we'll turn over a new leaf in this area and take a fresh start.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but when somebody accurately predicts something to the T and just 2 days later it happens, you better pay attention. You may ask, how did I know that the Cftc was going to gain more traction and power in regulated crypto? I could tell you I know a guy, but in reality, I'm just paying attention. SEC, Gary Gensler, they look weak and incompetent, and the courts are tired of them. Congress is tired of him. And the only logical thing they could do is move the crypto industry to another regulator. Ladies and gentlemen, Tether, tied to different illegal activities, has been seized by the U.S. Department of Justice. And this just in as well, the Department of Justice is going to announce significant crypto enforcements alongside the CFTC, showing that the CFTC will be their agency of choice, the jurisdiction where crypto is going to begin getting regulated through. We've always needed crypto regulation and more enforcement, and now we're going to get it. I believe in the immediate short term, crypto may get a little wobbly. This may look like little FUD, but this to me is the most bullish thing we could have. Maybe a nice healthy pullback into a much healthier uptrend. I've always stated to every single one of you, I believe April 2024 is the time period where the crypto market should be peaking again. And I'm staying on that until further notice. Now here, the U.S. government is seeking $4 billion from Binance to end the criminal case. And after Grayscale, Binance, and Ripple, you would think that the SEC would just try and take the settlement, try and get the money. But today the SEC showed why it's incompetent and why it's a tyrannical regulator. Here, co-founder of Kraken, Jesse Powell, showed what Bombshell broke today. The SEC has filed a complaint alleging Kraken operated as an unregistered securities exchange broker and clearinghouse. And this is the reason that's so annoying. Kraken already settled, I believe, $30 million with the SEC. But the SEC is coming back, full force, again just 10 months later. The SEC wants to extort crypto companies and exchanges. And this is yet another example of a United States entrepreneur and company talking about how horrendous the US is for crypto regulation. It's still not good despite all the recent victories against the SEC. But what all of you need to take away from this is this. While the rest of crypto is under threat of potentially getting enforcement actions, Ripple is 100% in the clear, no matter what anybody tells you. And here from Web3 Judah, we get a liar on the mainstream media trying to talk down on XRP because he's afraid. And you can hear the crack in the voice and the maxi tears ready to be emitted. Ladies and gentlemen, the maxis are scared. And every single time I hear mainstream media narratives being pushed against XRP, I know we're in a great position because they don't want us to have it.
On this. So we've explained what Ripple is and what it wants to do, but the problem here is that its customers, banks, aren't buying into its proposition.
That's right. We spoke to executives at 7 of the largest banks in the world who are at the heart of the correspondent banking system, where you move money from the United States to Africa or Asia, or corporations need to make payments around the world. None of those executives want to use XRP. They don't want to get involved with cryptocurrencies, and moreover, the customers that they serve, like the Caterpillars of the world, the big corporations, they don't have an appetite for it either.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you see something like that, a blatant lie purported by the mainstream, just think of Jim Cramer and how the opposite of everything he ever says is true. I've shown you over the past couple days how Kristalina Georgieva from the IMF is pushing and purporting the narrative of CBDCs. So's Augustin Carstens. We saw DC FinTech Week with the BIS. We saw Brad Garlinghouse talking on stages. We see it all. We have an overhead view of every narrative playing out. All these charts playing out. What's happening with the macro. What the elites are discussing. We cannot be wrong. We are deciphering the lizard talk. And we know exactly what's about to come. My friends, when you see something like this, you can almost guarantee that some form of regulation is on the horizon. Tether froze 225 million in stolen USDC, linked to an international crime syndicate. And I can almost guarantee you this is what the DOJ announcement is going to be. I can almost guarantee you they're going to use this as a reason to regulate crypto harshly. I find it to be no coincidence that Kraken gets sued today as well. For absolutely no reason, by the way. But now I feel like we can all understand how deeply ingrained into the system Tether is. Tether is playing ball with the big boys. They might have escaped regulatory scrutiny by paying off some people. Who knows? This is in fact speculation, but this is what I'm taking a strong look at. Ladies and gentlemen, be aware of any and all possibilities. And I promise you, it'll take you further in this game. Now guys, to cap off this video for today, yet another video from Mr. Man XRP, and please give him a follow as he's been killing it on Twitter and YouTube recently. This is from Danelle Dixon, head of the Stellar Foundation, and she's reassuring the narrative that mass adoption will come, and it will be the way we've been discussing. It will be from the east to the west. It will be in Asia. coming to the United States. We are the laggards. And it's all because of these dinosaurs in Congress. Something tells me that people suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia shouldn't be trying to regulate the next industrial revolution and this complicated technology. But I think we're going to get to a point where we see how Asia adopts this and sends it without the US. We haven't reached a point where the rest of the world goes on a bull run without America. But I think we're getting close to the point where we're going to start seeing mass adoption around the world. And then, when everything's said and done, when the profits are made, the American retail investor will be used as international exit liquidity. It's just a little hunch I have. But as you all have seen, my hunches have been very correct. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my OnlyFans at onlyfans.com/thebearablebull, as I've been helping a couple hundred people prepare for the next bull run over the past couple weeks. You get my latest bull run picks for 2024. You get access to me in the DMs where we can have private discussions about what your needs are. And you also gain access to my Discord community for a free trial. We have weekly AMAs at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays. And I genuinely believe all the people that join, work hard in these weeks leading up to the next cycle, are going to have their profits multiplied much more than people who don't take action. I genuinely hope to see as many of you in there as possible. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Same infrastructure in other countries. You have it sporadically put in other countries, and we do see it from time to time. But in terms of like mass adoption, blockchain technology and just the wallets and the lending applications and all of these different tools, they solve so many problems that aren't solved foundationally in these regions. And so, yes, I think that we are going to see mass adoption outside the US first, outside the Western countries first, and then we'll see that flow over. And eventually, again, the way that I've always talked about this, and I kind of see it happening now, is it's just another rail. And if we think about it like that and we don't think about it as this like scary thing, it's just another rail, then we'll see it, all over in the world.
I love that.